This is Mark Herman, and he's about to play Fort Sumter against the AI. And I'm going to create a game. Hopefully you can see all this. I'm going to play against the computer. I'll be the Union. I don't like being the South, unless I have to. So here's Jefferson Davis, and Lincoln has been elected. Okay, so here's me playing the game. So let's just look at our cards first. So I got Inauguration, which is a great card. So it gives us a lot of power on the political spaces. We have Jefferson Davis. Now, because we're the Union, we can only use the 2 card. We can't use the event. So this, but if we had the South, those 2 cards together would have been a very powerful combo. Fugitive slave law is a good transfer, but that's a late game card. Not going to be much use, but it's a 3 card. And then lastly, we have wow, we got an amazing hand. We got both presidents, the Inauguration and the Fugitive Slave Law, in one hand. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, as all these are armaments cards, as you can see, we'll end up using Jeff Davis will be a card we're not going to play. So remember, we're going to play 3 cards. I've already decided I'm going to play this, and we're going to go. It looks like we're going to have an armaments card. Sometimes I start to think about whether I want to go succession, go after the succession or whatever, but right now that's what we're going to do. And we've got the abolitionist card, and Lincoln will give us the ability to win the newspapers, state assembly, abolitionists. So I don't like this. I like this better than the Deep South, because typically the South's going to have some better event cards for the succession cards, and we play first. So we will open up with the Inauguration. Why not? And we're going to play for the event and 2 political spaces. So we're just going to pound Washington on the opening. And there we go. We've now played our card. We hit the check mark. Now let's see what the AI is thinking about. Should be an interesting. Let's see if the AI goes its own route or goes after me. Sometimes it just depends on how it feels. It's got, okay, so we're going to have an interesting situation, because remember, we're going to be abolitionist bound. So I think at this point I'm going to play Lincoln, and I'm going to play the event, and we're going to go straight at we're going to add, and we're going to go straight at newspapers with 3 tokens. So again, if we get to control the pivotal space, we can make sure that we get the abolition space later. And so now the computer's thinking about it, and it may be that they have their objective card, maybe a green card, public space. And here's Winfield Scott. They went from Montgomery, and we're going to play this for 3. So we're going to play for the value, and we're going to go 1 here to lock this up. We're going to go, I don't necessarily like what I see here, and we're going to block up Montgomery. Okay, so I think we're in a good situation depending. Okay, so they got control of the pivotal space for the federal, but there's not enough cubes there to score it. So with Washington, we're going to knock this cube out, and then we're going to put this cube over here, and that'll give us the whole political thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to knock. So we have to win the abolitionist space. So we're not going to have enough action to get control of the whole thing, but at least we'll get our objective space. We'll get the political. And I think they're not going to have a very good score this time. Crisis dimension. We get a point for the politics objective card. And they scored theirs, I think, and we scored ours. What was theirs? They had Fort Sumter. Okay. So it's good to remember which cards have gone by. And now, if you play this card and control the abolition, you may remove up to 2 tokens from any one space. I'm going to take them out of arsenals. And they did their thing, and now we're into round 2. So as you can see, this game is pretty quick. We're already right in the middle of the game already. Now, we have the regular army is going to give us an armaments card. And then we got 3 Confederate events. So I'm going to go for Federal Arsenals. I think is the best one for us. We're just going to go hard on on that dimension and see if we can't score. And we're just going to open up with this, and we're going to play the event and play up. So we're just going to go 3 into the Federal. Oh, I'm going to have to tell it we're adding. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So now, as I said earlier, even though there's a 2 card, it's a public opinion card, and I'm going to actually not use the 2 card because I want to have a public opinion card for the Final Crisis. And they got the Peace Commissioner and the border, so they locked up the border state pivotal space. So we're going to play Minutemen. I'm going to play for the value, and I'm going to play that to Fort Sumter. Okay, now here comes the AI's second card play, and what is it? What is it? So they're playing heavy on the newspapers, and they would gain, but we need. I think I'm going to play a little bit defensively here. It looks like we're going to get I'd like to get the political dimension. See, I only have a 1 card here. And you'll note that I could have 2 cards, which would give me a little bit more leverage. But I'd rather win Washington and get the political points. Let's see if this will work out for us. And their last card play is trying to score 2 points, but I don't know. Not going last here is going to be a little bit problematical for us. And all right, so they blocked up Washington with the Pickens pivotal space. So what I will do is I'm going to remove this guy, and we're going to take Fort Pickens. So we'll score that point. And I think that's the only one we're going to get. They knocked us out of there. They didn't score that dimension, so we got a point for the Federal. And wow, that's it. So we actually scored the only point there, and we're going to get they got Montgomery, so that's what they wanted. We got our objective, so we got a 2-point lead going into the commit your. No, I'm going to go back. I just realized you play 3 tokens from armored spaces or move 1 from any space. I could lose. I'm going to take 1 from Washington. That'll create a problem for them. Hopefully, they took my mine. Okay, last round. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely want Washington. We've got social elites, and this is an interesting card now. So we're going to want to play this as an event. That's a strong card play. And it's actually the strongest one we have to. So we know we can win the political with this transfer event. We have 3 1s, and I want to have an armaments card. So I'm not going to play this succession convention. That's the thing here. So since we know we're gonna go after Washington, they could block us up, but we can win northern state houses. So we're gonna go for the northern state houses, and even if we can't. If they can block us out of Washington, we can still score northern state houses. So I'm up first. I'm going to basically do this. Move up to 4 tokens. So I can take none, by the way, from public opinion space. I'm going to play the event. And I am going to take this one out of here. And since our space is northern state houses, but we had Montgomery as a choice, we know that that's not one of the, so we're going to pull both of our tokens back, and now we can go up to 4 into any political spaces. So we're going to So we're done with that withdrawal part. Now we get to go back in. So this is a very powerful, this is how you create power in this game. And we're going to, and so we've locked up Washington. We've all gotten the northern state houses, and we'll see how they play after this. So I think we've got our objective space locked in. Now the question is, what is their objective space? And it's hard to know. It's hard to know. Russell the Times. So we're going heavily into Montgomery. I'm not going to fight them. With the cards that we have, we're not going to be able to do much more. So we're going to play a one. So we're going to now start to worry about the end game, because we are getting to that point. We're not going to breach the final crisis at this rate, so that's fine. A 2-point lead into the final, depending how this round comes out. We'll see how this round goes. Louisiana succeeds, so I flip the piece. And our last one is going to play this one. And we will go back into federal arsenals. See what they're going to do now. Hard to know. Hard to know. But it's a tough game here. Okay, naval relief. Whoa. They went to the final crisis. They got this. They took the pieces. Little space bonus. So as you see, they were able to lock out Washington, but we're going to get the. So they got 1 point. Objective card. They recovered their point, and they had Texas. So we've got a 2-point lead going into the final. Okay, here we go. Final crisis, click. All right, so we're gonna close heavily with armaments. We're gonna sandwich armaments, and we're gonna put public opinion in the middle. So let's see what we can lock up. We're gonna go make sure we get Sumter, and if we can get these. Okay, we got an even shot, and at this point, I would just I'll take out 2 pieces of Washington, because they can't get the political dimension. See, this is where you can use your political capital to buy off of, the matches. And what did they do? No, I could see what they did. Oh, it's thinking about what it's going to do, because it goes after me, so it's going to. I can't tell what it did. Okay, so now I get to put pieces into the public area. So I want to make sure. So they're going into succession. So I'm going to click. So I don't care if you can't win the political dimension, because we have the state house there and they can't move them around. So we're going to go into state assemblies with 1, and we can take from here. I want to make sure I don't give them a point for the 3 greater than tokens. So we'll pay attention to that. And lastly, so we can't lose. So they're going to get the succession. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. If I go to, so I don't think I need anything to do anything. I cannot lose the I can put 1 in just for grins, and I'm done. And we're going to go to the final score. And the final scoring comes up now. He gets 1 for the successionists. I get 1 for the federal. I get 1 for Fort Sumter. And we have won. So a 7-4 victory. I think we played the final crisis well.